friends, my name is Jamie from Our Mindful Garden. If you're new here, which you probably are because I've only made one video on YouTube and that was like 7 or 8 months ago and then I dipped completely. I'll save that for another video. So today I'm going to be talking about why we homeschool. I feel like it can be a really hot topic for some people and extremely polarizing, but it does not have to be. And not everyone homeschools because they're anti-public school, anti-indoctrination, things like that. But we're also secular homeschoolers, so take what you will from that. Like I said, my name is Jamie, and if you are new here, I am a homeschooling mother of 3. We are entering our 4th year homeschooling, I suppose. I still have pretty young kiddos though, so really I'm only focusing on my oldest child right now and a little bit with my middle. The opinions here are just my own. I am by no means a professional. I don't have a ton of experience. I am not what many would call a homeschool veteran. So if you're looking for advice from homeschool veterans, there are plenty of other wonderful ones who would be able to give you awesome advice. I am just giving you the reasons why we chose to homeschool. So to begin, I just think that it's good to tell you how we got into homeschooling, because homeschooling was not on my radar at all. Public school was what we were going to go with, and that was the plan, and I didn't really question that plan because it's just what you do and it's what everybody does, and you do it and they graduate and then they go to college and they move away, and yeah, that cycle continues. COVID happened and my oldest was in preschool, and she loved preschool and she excelled in preschool, and it was a blast because it was preschool and it's play-based. But obviously nobody knew what they were doing. Teachers didn't know what they were doing. No one knew because this was a completely brand new experience for everybody. So at no fault of their own, preschool just was not, it wasn't working for our kiddo. It was over Zoom on video, and it's just so hard to explain to young children why they can't hang out with their friends anymore and they're only seeing them on the computer screen, and it just didn't really work out. So we kind of just were like, hey, it's preschool, we're just gonna play and have fun and spend time outside and read books and not really concern ourselves with it. So that's how we kind of let the rest of the school year go. And then over the summer, I really started considering homeschool for our oldest because I saw, people were scrambling to try to figure out what they were going to do for the next school year. And for me, I am a stay-at-home mother already, and to send my child to school away from me, risking getting sick, risking getting others sick, wearing the masks, following all the protocols, and ultimately having her come back home, which happened for the whole entire school district. So I really started researching homeschooling and reading about it, and reading all the books that I possibly could on it. And I got really, really excited, which I think every single homeschool mom, when they first decide that they're going to homeschool, they all get excited. It's very exciting. It sounds magical. And like, oh my gosh, why wouldn't everyone do this? So I sat my husband down and I told him why I think homeschooling is a good idea, at least for the following school year. And he was game and he was like, all right, let's do it. We started and it was very laid back because again, she was still preschool age. And we ended up finding like a really great group of people that we went on weekly hikes with, and she had some friends and it went really well. And the rest is kind of history. We really fell in love with homeschooling and the freedom that it provides. We decided we were going to stick with it, and we told ourselves and other people that we reserve the right to change our minds at any time, and we're just going to keep going with it until it doesn't work anymore, and it has still worked really well. So the first reason why we homeschool, and one that I've already kind of touched on, is because of the freedom that it provides. It allows us to wake up when we need to. We're not rushing in the morning. We're not waking up to an alarm clock. I'm not stuffing breakfast down my kids' faces while packing their school bags and sending them on their way to the school bus. Our mornings start out slow and easy, and we kind of gradually get into whatever the day has lying ahead. So that has been the best part of it, for sure, is the freedom that it provides. Another reason is that we are allowed to work at our kids' pace. So my oldest one, she is 6 years old, almost 7, and she is about to finish first grade mathematics, and she is already halfway through second grade language arts. If she was at the public school, she would be halfway through first grade right now, which is great, and we're certainly not rushing. We are very laid back homeschoolers. It just so happens that when you have more time to devote to your kids and it's that one-on-one attention, you're able to get way more done in way less time. So right now we spend about an hour to an hour and a half, 3 to 4 days a week on actual schoolwork. And the rest of the day is still learning. Like they're still learning when we're reading books or we're going on our field trips or we're out on our hiking adventures. There is so much learning to be had in every day. Another reason that we homeschool is that it allows us to follow our children's passions. So my kiddo loves art, loves creating. We could spend hours at the table just drawing and painting and sketching and coloring, and it brings her so much joy. And I love that we have the ability to make that happen because we're able to spend some time on language arts and math and history, and then she's able to focus the rest of the day on doing art and what she loves. And if she was in public school, she wouldn't really have as much time for that. Of course, they incorporate art and there is an art class, but she wouldn't be able to spend hours a day doing it. After a full day of school, she would come home and she would probably have some homework, and then if she was in an extracurricular, she would have that to go to, and before you know it, it's bedtime, time to go to bed, so you can wake up early and start the whole day over again. Another reason we really love homeschooling is because we can focus a lot of our attention on social emotional learning. So I truly believe, it's a huge passion of mine, that if you're not focusing on the mental health, on the well-being, on the physical health, on the social emotional aspects of a child, and you're trying to teach them something, that they're just not going to learn it appropriately, because it's impossible to be able to get through to a child if you're not actually focusing on that whole child. So we really focus hard on respectful parenting, explaining things deeply to our children. We talk quite a bit about feelings and emotions and how we think, and we talk about gratitude, positive affirmations, we meditate, we do yoga. These are all things that I believe really helps their well-being and who they are and their happiness and their confidence and their self-esteem and their immune system. And I could go on and on and on and on because I'm so passionate about it. But that is a huge thing that we find very important, and also respecting their autonomy and their boundaries. And I think with public school, you know, you do things at a certain time, and it's very hard for one teacher to be able to manage 20, 30 children and make sure that they're actually taking care of their social emotional needs. I mean, it's just not possible. Like, there's just no way. Which leads me to the next reason, which is that nobody loves your child as much as you do. I mean, that's just like, it's just a fact. Teachers can certainly love their students and give their all, and I know so many teachers who absolutely do that, but they're not going to be able to have that one-on-one attention that a homeschooled kiddo would be able to have with their parent. Teachers are tired. They have a ton on their plates. They have administration who tell them exactly how they need to be planning out their days and making sure that they're fitting all the curriculum in and meeting all the standardized testing requirements. There's a ton on their plate. They are overworked, they are burnt out, they are not paid as much as they should be getting paid. I mean, I create resources and I like putting those resources on TPT, and I follow so many teachers who desperately want to get out of the teaching field because they are burnt out, and it seriously makes me feel so sad for the kiddos, and teachers are not to blame because they deserve happiness too, right? And they deserve to be treated fairly and with respect. And right now it is just an incredibly tough time for teachers in public schools, for kids in public schools. My opinion is that I believe that the public school system needs a complete overhaul. Do I think that's going to happen anytime soon? No. But I digress. These teachers are desperately trying to get out of their positions because they just don't feel respected. And so seeing that side of it, I don't want my kids going to a public school with teachers who are just incredibly stressed out and overwhelmed and overworked. And one of the final reasons that we love homeschooling is that we get to spend ample time outside in nature. It's just a pure fact that most people don't spend enough time outside, especially in schools. They have very limited time for recess, and in the public school system, a lot of kids are getting diagnosed with ADHD, and they're getting in trouble for behavioral problems because they can't sit in their desk, but they are kids, and of course they're not wanting to spend their days sitting at a desk, staring forward, writing the answers, and just doing what they're told all the time. They're kids. They are meant to run around and play and explore and have fun and get dirty, and most kids today just do not get enough time to be outside in nature playing. So that's incredibly important to us. We live in a very, very cold climate, so even on days where it's below zero, we will bundle up and we'll get outside, and that's really important to us. And I think it's important for every human being's mental health and physical health. So those are a few reasons why we homeschool. If you're seeing this video, that means I have at least 3 more videos left for you. So I promise that this time I'm not going to just create my video and dip and leave, but we will see, because I am a very busy mom. So obviously life still happens, but I've been really wanting to utilize my creativity and be a voice for the secular homeschooling community, which I think we could use a few more of. So this is my little place on the internet to do that. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below in the comments section. I would love to answer them, and feel free to subscribe if you're interested in following along on this homeschool journey of ours.